Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Give My Head podcast with me, Tim McGarry, and my comedy colleague,
Damon Quinn.
Yes, welcome to the Give My Head podcast, where we discuss politics, life, culture, arts, comedy, whatever comes to our mind. And Yuletide felicitations, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost Christmas. Just about time. You've just about got time to buy an excellent Christmas present for your loved ones, namely tickets to see Give My Head Piece live. It is on tour all over March of 2026. We're all over Northern Ireland, all the theatres in Northern Ireland, a few down south as well, and we're finishing up in the Grand Opera House in the last week in March, so get your tickets now. Excellent present it would be for anybody you love. Or yes. if you hate somebody and you go, I know they really hate Give Me a Head Piece, get them tickets as well, just to annoy them. Also, I'm on tour doing a solo show later in 2026, The Height of Nonsense, Tim McGarry's Height of Nonsense. Look that up as well. You're very, that would be another good present to buy people, wouldn't it, Damon?
Absolutely.
After Give Me a Head Piece, obviously.
After you buy your Give Me a Head
Piece. Because you don't
piece.
care about my tour at all. You'll not even go to it, to be honest with you.
That's a stocking filler.
That's a stocking filler. Ladies and gentlemen, we are absolutely delighted to have with us a very special guest, Mr. Ibe Sesay. Well done, sir. Thank you very much for joining us. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Good.
You all right?
Glad to be here.
Good. You are a Q-Radio DJ, best known as, but also known as a ridiculously handsome man. I don't know why we invited you on the show, because you really are increasing the handsomeness of this show by about 300%. You're a handsome man, aren't you?
I'll take that.
Do you accept that? Is that you well?
You're making me go red here.
Do you want me to leave? You two
No.
Please don't.
Hello.
You stay where you are.
Hello. It's just a fact, isn't it?
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
How's life treating
But
you?
it wouldn't be the first time I've been told to have a face for the radio. Coincidentally, so.
Yeah, but you're on Q-Radio, but everything's filmed now. When you're on Q-Radio,
That's true.
There's cameras everywhere now.
I don't have to worry about hair and makeup, but because a lot of people do. But I don't.
You don't
I just
have
rock
to.
in and I present the Drive Time show 4 to 7 Monday to Friday in Q-Radio.
Right.
Have done for a few years now. In fact, this week on Sunday was my 15th year working in radio from my first show.
Right. But
So-
you started in BCR, did you?
City Beat.
City
It was
Beat.
City Beat. Yeah, same frequency, 96.7.
Right. Which was BCR, wasn't
yeah.
it? Belfast Community Radio.
Yeah, they used to broadcast from Russell Court. You
Yes,
would remember that.
I do remember that. I was interviewed by people there. I think Robin Elliott maybe.
Yeah,
would have
probably would have
interviewed
been
me
there. Stuart Robinson.
Yes.
Possibly.
then-
Christine Blakely, I think she was on the same
Christine?
frequency.
Was Christine starting
Yep.
radio?
Christine
did
was
you?
there. Mark
Yep,
Mallet
she did, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Christine was a floor manager on Give Me a Head Piece. Was you?
Really?
Yeah.
AD for us.
AD, yeah, she
Yeah.
was an assistant director of Give Me a Head Piece in her very early days. She used to run messages for us on Give Me a Head Piece.
Really? I didn't know that.
I know. Look at her now.
Uh-huh.
Hey. You go, Christine, can you get me Frank Lampard's autograph? Was she starting BCR? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did, yeah.
Okay.
It started careers for a lot of local entertainers, I suppose, back in the day. But I was late to the party. I'm 45 now, so I only started radio at 30.
30?
Yeah.
What did you do up until then?
I did everything, Tim, you name it.
Really?
I did it. Primarily, so I always wanted to be a mechanic. I actually wanted to be a computer programmer.
Right.
Until I went to a careers fair in 5th year or 6th year. And
Where'd you go to school, Ian?
St Patrick's in Lisburn.
Lisburn.
So Coleman's primary school on Beg and then St Patrick's in Lisburn.
Right.
But I went along to a careers fair and wanted to be a computer programmer. Made a beeline for the computer programming stall. And I got chatting to the guy who was there and he said, run a mile, do not entertain a career
In computer programming?
So-
Yeah, computers are a thing of the past. They'll never go anywhere. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, more or less. Yeah. So I don't know. He obviously didn't have a good experience with it. But I always had a keen interest in cars.
Right.
So then I thought, right, plan B, I'm going to be a mechanic. An auto spark. I love the electrical aspect of cars, and so I had to go through my mechanical 3 years NVQ before I proceeded on to the electrical end of it. So long story short, I did that, and my placement was in Coca-Cola.
Right. Coca-Cola, because they had loads of lorries with.
Well, they had their own
fleet.
on-site garage where they worked on all the company cars and vans and lorries and forklifts, anything with wheels. We maintained and serviced. So that was my placement.
Right.
And I was there for a few years. I lived in Lambeg, so it was on my doorstep. It was brilliant. Rolled out of bed and onto the garage floor. So I did that for a few years, and then working in Coca-Cola, that took me into events. I was DJing a bit. Always loved music.
Right. Were you into music?
Grew up around music, between my family, uncles, my dad.
Right.
So loved music. And
all sorts of music. Any particular type?
all sorts.
Everything.
Disco, soul
Punk.
music, punk. Not so much punk. Okay,
Right.
not
Thrash metal.
no, definitely not.
Light opera. See, I've already
wee bit.
Loyalist flute band music. That's
No, not so
See,
much.
you said all music. I've given you four
okay.
genres already, and you don't like any of them.
Anything you can dance to. Hip-hop, bit of hip-hop, bit of soul.
Anything you can
R&B.
dance.
But yeah, so I always had an interest in music, and I started from a young age doing small parties, weddings, birthday parties, that kind of thing. So
As the DJ.
yeah, as a DJ, but
Yeah.
they knew that in Coca-Cola, and so they invited me to be a member of the events team.
Right.
And from events, I moved into sales, and River Rock was launched at the time, and so I was one of the water boys.
Right.
Selling River Rock out of the back of a van all over Northern Ireland, all over West
Right.
Belfast, and put me off sales for life. Hated it.
Right.
So
Don't like selling things to be.
handed in my notice in Coca-Cola, and then I worked for the Auto Trader. Then for the next 10 years as a photographer.
Right. Photographer.
If you were selling your car, Tim, went
Wow.
to your house,
Right.
taking the photograph,
Taking a photograph of my engine.
yeah, the
Right.
details, the payment, and I did that basically.
Looked under your bonnet.
And looked under my.
for about 10 years. Yeah.
Right. That's a wide variety of stuff.
Yeah. Worked on a building site
Didn't you?
as a labourer, yeah, back in the day as well.
Bloody hell. And so, were you married at the stage? You had kids or anything?
No,
or
no,
you just
I'm young
you
friend
single
single
man,
at this
just
stage, very
enjoying
young.
life
Very young, like
and
this.
trying everything out to see what fit?
More or less. And then, so we're into the late 1990s now, 98, 99, and I started working for Wine Inns. They were a company who owned, you'll know a lot of
marketing,
the,
bars and-
Empire and the M Club and the Parlour and the Egg and, lots of bars. So Susan Curry was the entertainment manager, and she took me under her wing and gave me lots of work, which I was very grateful for.
Right.
So, and one of those nights was the Groovy Train in the M Club.
Right.
Every Friday night, disco.
The groovy train. Right.
Groovy Train. And hen parties, birthday parties used to come from all over to go to it every Friday night in the M Club.
Right. And in those days, were you spinning discs? Or
No,
was it
not
CDs?
so. No,
Was it
we're
CDs
coming
or
out of discs. Well, CDs, yeah.
Yeah.
CDs, and then mini discs were a
Right.
big thing then when I started. But
And do you have a DJ voice that you have to put on and kind of be like a cool
on,
FM DJ
on a
coming
Friday
at
night
ya?
in the Groovy Train, yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
brother, what about you here? Here's an our song coming up. What's this one here?
my alter ego was JJ Jackson.
JJ Jackson,
Wore
right?
a big afro and a white suit and glasses. And,
Right, really?
Yeah, so it was a character.
Right. And does JJ Jackson have an accent then? Or?
Not really.
Right.
I'm just me, only a bigger version of me.
Right.
Kind of.
Okay.
I know where you're going with this.
No. Not that sort of Jackson. No, we're not going.
So you're a double Westie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, you're a fellow Westie, but I'm
Yeah.
one of those as well. But
We can't
but
get rid of Westies.
No,
We've had so
well,
many
you see,
Westies in this
talent.
bloody
Must be
programme.
something in the water.
We
And
just
that-
had Aaron Butler last
Yeah.
week. We've had Marty McCann. We've had Karen Hassan. Karen Hassan was West. No, she was North. Sorry.
She was North, to
There
be
were
fair.
Westies everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm a good company then.
Oh yes, but you also have a West African connection, which
that's
is
true.
a really interesting story. Like because
West Africa, West Belfast come together, and
A fine combination.
the result sits before you today. So yeah, my dad, he's from West Africa, Sierra Leone.
yeah,
And he actually initially went to London because he wanted to study chemistry. He wanted to get his education, then return back to West Africa. He went to London in 1975, and he was told the only place that you should be is Queen's University. If you want to study chemistry, Queen's University is where you need to be.
All right. We had a reputation then for, right?
So
What year was this?
It was 1975.
Right.
And Dad was
So
like,
don't look at the news. Just go. The
Hang on a
university's
second.
wonderful. Ignore the news.
well, he did see the news, and that's why he was reluctant to
Right.
come to Belfast. But he did, and he started Queen's University, got his education, his doctorate, and he met my mum. My mum worked as a dental nurse in Stranmillis,
Right.
and that's how they met. And in 1980, I was born.
Right.
Right.
So
And did you live in Sierra Leone for a while?
yeah. So
Okay.
after a while, I think I was one, not even one, and we went to Sierra Leone. Dad had a job. He had a great job lined up in the university, Forby College, and he said to my mum, "How do you fancy coming to live in West Africa?"
Right. And your mum was from
From Moyard.
Moyard?
Initially, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
West
Moyard now? Is
Belfast.
that the west?
Moyard's off the Springfield Road.
All right. Okay.
Yep. So
I should know that, shouldn't I?
so
from,
area.
so from off the Springfield Road to
to Sierra Leone, Freetown.
Sierra Leone, Freetown.
Yeah.
Right. And this was when?
This is back. So we're now 1981.
Right.
And Mum stuck it, put up with it for as long as she could, which was about 2.5 years.
Right.
Complete culture shock for Mum.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
You know, coming from Moyard to West Africa, like it was completely different. Dad, he was working a lot, so as I say, it was challenging for her. So
Right.
she said, "Listen, I gotta get out of here." So she brought me home to Belfast in 1983. Dad finished out the term in the college before he returned, and he's still here.
He's still here.
Yeah.
He's still here today. Yeah.
Most people, if I said Sierra Leone too, wouldn't know where it is, couldn't identify it on a map, don't know feck all about it. I know bits and pieces about it because I like my history. I remember Tony Blair rescuing Sierra Leone in 2000. Well, claiming to be rescued. There was a civil war.
Yeah, you dodged by coming home, dodged the Civil War. Then
I
it went
did,
on for
yeah.
quite a few years, didn't it?
It did indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
It was, in hindsight, Mum maybe saved my life. You know, there was a lot of young people that got entangled in the war, lost their lives. I might not have had a choice.
Sorry to interrupt them, but just for people who go, what the fuck are you talking about? Sierra Leone, West African country,
Yeah.
in between Liberia and Guinea, is it? And population, what, about 8-9 million, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Technically a rich country, should have lots of diamonds and things. In it.
Very mineral rich.
Right.
Yeah, iron ore.
Used to be a British colony, isn't it?
He knows a lot more than maybe me.
No, but it was a centre
British colony.
of the slave trade
Yeah.
back in the day.
That's right.
But then the Brits were one of the first to get rid of slavery. So it had that sort of
Dynamic,
background.
yeah.
And then Freetown is the
Yeah, that's right.
the capital. But it kind of it got independence and then in the 60s and then descended into civil war in the 90s, didn't
Yeah,
it?
that's
And
right.
then,
1990s. That's
yeah,
right.
and where does Tony Blair come in there though?
Tony Blair's later, at about, am I correct? 2000?
late.
There's a little bit of this, bizarrely, that the Sierra Leone could be responsible for the Iraq War in a weird way, because Tony Blair and the Labour government came in 97, civil war in Sierra Leone, and the British intervened, even though there were, and it was a very successful intervention on behalf of the government, who defeated the RUF, who were the rebels, and it was a humanitarian intervention,
Yeah.
and it stopped the civil war and was very successful. And the argument is that Tony Blair got a bit of a, I'm
Big
a hero,
head.
I got a big head, I can do this round the world.
I'm good at wars.
Did it in Kosovo slightly later, and then thought Iraq will be the same. I'm humanitarian. This is for the good of loads of people. But in Sierra Leone, it actually was,
Yeah.
and I think he's still regarded as a bit of a hero over there. Isn't he, Blair?
Yeah, he
am I right?
absolutely is. He is. That as I say, dodged the bullet, maybe literally. I hadn't been back to Sierra Leone until 2 years ago.
Right.
From you were 3, were they?
3, yeah.
Wow.
And I did an interview with, I think it might have been the Belfast Telegraph, talking about my heritage, where my dad is from, and somebody from Concerned Worldwide, Darren Vaughan, reached out to me and said, listen, wow, we've just seen that you're from Sierra Leone, from Freetown, and we do a lot of work in that area for Concern, helping local people who really need help, poverty, etc. And we'd like to extend an invitation for you to travel with us to see the work that we do in Freetown and the surrounding areas. And so I thought, oh, my goodness, what an opportunity.
Did you have any connection with Sierra Leone apart from your father before that? You'd never been?
No.
Would your dad sit and watch the news about Sierra Leone?
Yeah. He'd have been well tuned in and still is, keeps up.
But you weren't, this is only 3 years ago, so you're an older gentleman. You're in your 40s, but you had no real knowledge of it as such.
Not really at all. Lots of family out there, but don't really keep in touch.
Right.
And in terms of politics and what's going on, poverty, I didn't really know how bad it was until I made the trip, jumped on a plane and we went out, and it was the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Twofold to see, number one, to see the work that Concern do and the lives they change, the lives they save, ultimately, but also from a personal aspect for me. Like, I went back to the house we lived in, no memory of it whatsoever.
Right.
Photographs,
Wow.
loads of photographs, but
That must have been amazing.
whatever. It was incredible, Tim. And before we left, Mum gave me a photograph of a family friend holding me as a baby in the back garden of our house.
Oh, wow.
Whenever we arrived, I FaceTimed Mum and said, look, and showed her the house, and she started to cry. And she said, like, oh my God, I can't believe you're there experiencing that now. And she says, that photograph I give you, she says, keep walking. Stop, turn left, keep going, stop. She says, that's exactly where that photograph was taken.
Oh.
Which was mind-blowing.
Oh. Yeah.
And actually the people who were living in the house now, we moved out of that house in 1983. The people that were in the house moved in 1986.
We're still...
And
Right.
we're still
Wow.
there. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was incredible.
Freetown, a big city, I mean...
It's big, but hugely overpopulated.
Right.
And as I say, lots of poverty. It's either one extreme to the next. It's either very, very
Rich.
or the complete opposite. The corruption still is rife.
Right. And again, what's the system of government? Is there democratic elections? Is there a president? How does it work?
There's president, and when I say it's corrupt from the top, all the way down.
So
They don't spend money on infrastructure, for example. All of the main roads aren't too bad. As soon as you turn off, the roads are horrendous. You don't have a 4x4. You're not getting too far.
Right.
At all.
And if you had to bribe everybody to get anywhere, that sort of thing, is it?
That kind of thing, yeah. I remember we were traveling between, was it a place called Port Loco and Freetown, and there was a checkpoint. We were traveling with Concern Worldwide, so we were traveling the big white 4x4 Land Cruisers.
Right.
So they know who we are, so they just wave us on through, which was fine. But most people were stopped, asked to look in their boots, and the guys don't even look in the boot, they just look you in the eye.
Yes.
And they're looking for a few quid.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's rife. On a Friday, it's worse on a Friday.
On a Friday?
Because the guys are looking their
Money
few quid
for
the
drink
weekend.
or whatever.
For the weekend. Yeah.
That was 2023.
Right.
So it's still pretty bad.
The culture shock?
Culture's unbelievable, Tim.
Yeah.
Blew me away. And for the first time in my 43 years on planet Earth at the time, I understood my dad
Yeah.
for the first time.
I was going to say, because you don't identify yourself as Sierra Leonean.
No.
You're Northern Ireland, you're West Belfast, you're native of here. Did that give you an insight then into the going, well, hang on, this is part of me, part of who I am as well, because it's your father, obviously.
Yeah, and the way my dad brought my brother and I up in Belfast, you know, I understood that.
Right.
You know, for the first time. It was incredible. And even traveling...
What do you mean? Did he bring you up was he a strict father, or was he,
He was, definitely was. He pushed us down the academic route. He wanted us to do well, obviously. Right. He wanted us to follow in his footsteps. Yeah. That wasn't either my brother or I, you know. My dad he keeps everything. I'm going to say it, he's a hoarder.
Right.
He keeps everything, but everybody in West Africa keeps everything.
Yeah.
They're all the same. You know, and I went to visit my aunts and cousins, and they all live the same way.
Yeah, you hold on to what you have.
Yeah. Because you don't know whenever you're going to need it, I suppose. So...
sorry, a stupid question. Sierra Leone, mainly Christian, Muslim? What is it? Muslim, mainly Muslim?
Yeah.
And are there religious tensions as well, or is it kind of...
I didn't pick up on that. Now, to be fair, no, not really.
But culturally, you know, it's Christian or Muslim, sorry.
Yeah.
A different language as well. Does your father speak a different language at all? English?
So
they're tribal languages, aren't there?
Creole.
Yeah, Creole. It's English and Creole.
Yeah. It's broken English. You can't understand. You can't get by.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
But another...
So when you were there, did you feel Sierra Leonean? Did the Sierra Leoneans go, who's this fecker from Belfast with a stupid accent? Or do they go, you're one of us? Or
arrived
what?
at the airport, and the guy in security seen my passport. He opened the passport and he sees Ibe Sesay. Mm-hmm. And looked at me. I'm considered white out there.
Oh, right.
And there's a name, I can't remember the name, for a white man. And I'm considered in Sierra Leone as a white man,
right?
Believe it or not. And so he looked at me and he's looking at the passport and the name. Every other, it's like Smith in Belfast.
Sesay.
Sesay is like Smith in Belfast. Yeah. And he's seen the Sesay and he just couldn't. So I explained my father, Ibe Sesay Sr. We've lived in Belfast and this is my first time returning in 40 years. And he couldn't believe it. And that was the first person of so many people I met in that 1 week that were so welcoming, you know, but also couldn't believe that I speak in the way that I speak, had a name like Sesay.
Right.
But there was something about it, Tim, to answer your question. It was emotional, and it was like coming home.
Yeah.
You know, not initially, but I remember sitting writing, because we were sending links back to Q-Radio for the news, and I'm sitting writing a quick piece, and all of a sudden I filled with emotion, and I was completely overwhelmed. You know, it was surreal.
Right.
You know.
And what do you think that was coming from?
No, there was just a sense of my roots, where I belong, where I was from. It's hard to
sense
explain.
Of belonging, like
yeah.
And you say you've loads of relatives over there. Did you meet any of them? Did you able to? Yeah.
We stayed in a hotel actually, about a 3-hour drive from Sierra Leone, from Freetown, Port Loco. My aunt, my dad's sister, she knew the hotel we were staying in. I sent her the itinerary. So we were myself and the guys from Concern were sat in the hotel one evening having dinner, and a 4x4 pulled up. And she made the 3-hour trip and surprised us and brought food, lots and lots of food.
Right.
So that was emotional. So we were sat, and it turned out that she knew the manager of the hotel.
Right.
My aunt Fatu is a principal. She's now retired of a local girls' school not far from that specific area. So we were chatting, and I remember back in '95, Dad travelling back for his dad's funeral,
All right.
right? And I remember this vividly. And I happened to ask my aunt, where is my granddad buried? And she said, a 5-minute drive from here.
Wow.
So we jumped in the car again.
Well,
we
you didn't go to see your
and we
grandfather's
went
grave?
and he's basically buried in the back garden
All
of
right.
the home. So we were able to go, and it was surreal.
Right.
So it was all overgrown. So me being me, I went in, with a rake or whatever, and I started cleaning it up. So it was nice to visit that.
Did you say genuinely that your mother might have saved your life because there was a civil war at the time? You basically had to get out, basically.
Yeah.
That was from the 80s, early 80s,
that's
and
right.
up until 2000, basically. So it was
Yeah.
always been unstable and all that. Would you say to people now, oh, I would go on holiday to Sierra Leone, you'd love it? Or would you go, no?
Definitely
Genu-
not. No,
no?
that said, I've got 4 kids. I would love to bring my kids
Yeah.
to experience it.
Yeah.
See it for now, and although it's rife with drugs,
Right.
I would know. I know enough family, and we would be looked after.
Right.
But just to give my kids a sense of what it was like
Yeah.
for my dad, for me, living there briefly in the early 80s, and just to give them a sense of appreciation for what
Yeah.
they have
Yeah.
today.
And their heritage. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we're not well off by any stretch of the imagination, but they're
Comparatively.
comparatively they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Concern are brilliant, though, aren't they? Great organisation.
Yeah.
If you have any money left over after buying the Give Me Headpiece tickets, give them a wee donation, would you? I mean, Concern do great work out there. don't they?
Absolutely, I'm now an official ambassador.
Oh, you're an
for-
official ambassador, right?
For Concern,
That
yeah.
tells you to work for them for nothing, effectively. I just do
Don't
gigs for
mind.
nothing. Yeah, I'm an official ambassador of a couple of young. Tim, what are you doing next Thursday? That's sort of an official ambassador.
Yeah, but they do great work and raise a lot of money. And I've seen firsthand where the money goes, how it's spent, and how it saves lives.
Right.
It's incredible.
What are they sort of stuff? Are
So
they
you
doing?
see the end result.
Is it water, schools, things like that? Or
Yeah, all of that. All of that. Whenever we were there, we visited schools. The schools, like it was. And the one thing about it that I initially straight away hit me was how happy the kids are.
Yeah.
They don't have anything.
I found that in
They
Cuba.
don't have a lot of.
When I went to Cuba, that's what really impressed me was the kids were so happy, and they don't have anything.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Oh, that's back in 2008. I was in
Really?
Cuba. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, and we brought out balls, colouring books, and you would have thought that you give them a
Oh, yeah.
million quid.
No, but in Cuba they'd be in the street, they'd be playing baseball, and you'd be walking along the street, and the kid would just hand you the baseball bat and go, "Here, do you want to have?" You know?
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean they just had this real kind of, as I say, happiness
Yeah.
from having nothing.
Yeah. They're
You know?
thankful.
Yeah, yeah.
They're thankful. And in the hotel, we stayed in a hotel in Port Local, and there was to say a football pitch is a stretch of the imagination. It was a field, an overgrown field, but these kids were playing football. With this football, I don't know, it was an excuse for a football, but
Right.
took a new football out of the bag and pumped it up and give it to
Yeah.
them, and they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was emotional actually to see
Yeah.
their response."
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
know?
my son lived in Cuba for a year. He did a year out in Cuba, and he found the same thing. He just
Yeah.
found it fascinating how happy
Yeah,
they were from coming from not having anything.
yeah.
You know, and grateful for
Grateful for everything.
anything. Yeah, yeah.
And as I said, to go back to the point, I would love to bring my kids. It wouldn't be a holiday. It wouldn't be a holiday.
Really?
No way.
No.
My mum used to walk me up and down a beach called Lumley Beach. This was a beautiful beach back in the early 80s. And we went, I was on the beach the night before we left, and I took a video of it and sent it to my mum, and she couldn't believe it, and it's just a dump.
Right.
Literally, it's a dump.
Is that the hangover from the Civil War? I mean, we're still got the hangover from the Troubles, but we're talking a different scale, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're talking huge numbers of people who were killed and injured and stuff like that over many years. Is that still a hangover from that, or is it poverty, or is it corruption? Is it everything?
It's
is it
more
political
poverty. It's
inaction?
People don't care. People don't care. People just scatter the rubbish anywhere, and it was a hybrid of of the people on the ground, on the land, polluting. There was nappies, there was syringes, there was, and also the ships and boats. Everything goes overboard
because they're not going to do consequences,
and it's washed up. And I'll show you the video. Like you need to see it to believe it.
Right.
And that was, once upon a time, a beautiful, beautiful, not holiday destination, but just a beautiful place on Earth.
Right.
It's sad.
So, Abe, you're not going to be employed by the Sierra Leone Tourist Board, to be honest?
No, not anytime soon.
You've put me off. I was thinking of going now. Well, it's a beautiful country, though, as well, isn't it? I mean,
it's stunning.
Stunning.
And we travelled around. We were all over, and just travelling from place to place. It's stunning. It's lush. It's green. And another element of this story, I met my wife back in, we're together now 21 years maybe. And I met her, and not long.
You remember, because she.
Yeah, I know. Not long after we met, she introduced me to her parents, and we were sitting around her parents' table, and her mom's asked, "Where are your origins?" And I had said, "My dad's from West Africa, a place called Sierra Leone." And she says, "Whereabouts in Sierra Leone?" And I said, "Freetown." She said, "I lived there for 10 years."
Wow.
And I went, "What?"
Your wife's your mother-in-law lived in Freetown for 10 years.
Freetown for 10 years.
More than you fucking did. You knew more about Sierra Leone than you did. Wow.
And
Wow.
What was your
Right. So this is how this came to pass, right?
Yeah.
Her father, Colin's grandfather, worked in insurance. He's from Antrim, and he got a job. He applied for a job back in 1960, and he was told, "Right, you've got the job, but we need you to go to West Africa for a year."
Right.
And he's like, "Right." And at that time, he was married with 3 kids, Colin's aunts and uncles, and her mum, and so they all up sticks. And that year turned into 3 years, turned into 10 years.
Wow.
And whenever I was there 2 years ago, I drove from the house that we lived in to the house they lived in.
Well, your mother-in-law's house.
And it was a 7-minute drive.
Wow.
Yeah. And it turned out there was a priest called Father O'Sullivan, originally from Dublin. He worked out there. My mum knew him very well. Dad, as I said earlier, he was a lot, working, etc. Mum was alone. It was just her and I. Father O'Sullivan kind of took her under his wing. Father O'Sullivan spent every Sunday in Colin's grandparents' house for ice cream. Yeah. So it was
that's like a Northern Ireland story, isn't it? That's like
kind of is,
your man. What part of Freetown you live there, mate? Class. That's brilliant.
Small world, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, smallish.
So as I say, Dad's still here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad's still here, and Dad, I must say, he loves you guys. He loves.
Your dad's a very intelligent man. I don't think I've met him, but there's something about him.
He is.
There's just something about him.
He's very intelligent. Very, very intelligent.
Very bright man.
And so his take on Northern Irish politics.
Yes.
It's serious. Of course, it's serious. But my dad sees the humour in it.
Right.
And that's why he loves you guys and what you do and the show, because you extract the Portugal element of Northern Irish.
Yeah.
Green and.
Do you know what you should buy him for
orange.
Christmas? It's 2 tickets to see Give Me a Head Piece.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Would you
I'll
do that?
In fact, I
do
always.
you know what?
I always buy him tickets.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to meet him now. We'll have to meet him
He's our
now.
kind of guy.
He's been in the Opera House many, many times.
It's all right.
Watched
Oh,
the
has he?
show.
All right. Oh, if I.
Well, then, if he comes this time, we'll buy him a shandy.
We'll definitely buy him.
You're right, kind.
Yes,
Oh, he'll be there with bells.
Does he
We'll
go
meet him and
to-
buy him a shandy.
Do people in Sierra Leone have a good sense of humour? Do they? I mean,
they do,
but I
yeah.
presume you go, well, Sierra Leone politics slightly different from Northern Ireland politics, you know, but he goes the bullshit here that we have,
Yeah.
you know. But he's, you know,
He loves it. He
loves
absolutely loves
Is
it.
he retired gentleman now?
He is, yeah.
Right, and he's enjoying life and loving life.
Dad retired about 8 years ago. I want to say 8 years ago. So
Right.
yeah. He's
And what's his first name?
Abraham?
He's Abraham.
He's,
sorry.
he's Abe Senior.
Abe Senior. Right.
Yeah, he was always Big Abe
Right.
Right.
until I became Big Abe.
Okay. But we're having a shandy with Abe Senior.
We will have absolutely have a
in
shandy
March.
and then the
Oh.
Grand Opera House.
And one of the most probably I've ever heard Dad laughing in my life, and he laughs a lot. Anybody who knows my dad will straight away reference his laugh.
Right.
He's a big, distinctive,
Big raucous.
hearty laugh, and he laughs. He's
Class.
You know, but one of the most I've ever heard him laughing is at you on the stage, and how you explain the 12th holidays to somebody from England.
Right.
And whenever you did that sketch, I thought he was gonna collapse. You
Right.
know, that was funny.
Oh, well, that's very kind of him. I like a man with a good sense of humour.
Yeah.
I have to confess, Abe, this is terrible, but when I saw your name the first time, I always thought you were Ibe. I go,
Yeah.
how'd you go Ibe?
A lot of people do, and that's because Abraham is spelled Ibrahim.
Yes, Ibrahim and yeah.
Ibrahim, it's not Abraham as I
Right.
always got in school.
Yes.
And
That would be Ibrahim. That would be from the Muslim.
yeah, that's correct.
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I got, whenever I was, I don't know, 8, 10, Ibe was my kind of
Right.
nickname that I was given from all my mates. Ibe. Colleen still calls me Ibe.
Right.
She couldn't call me Abe. But whenever I got on the radio, it was John Paul Ballantyne, Chippo. He was like, well, Ibe Sesay, just drop and call yourself Ibe Sesay for the radio.
Right.
So that's how Abe.
Abe.
And it kept the I. Just
Right.
be even more confusing.
Well, you're just right. And Q-Radio going very well. Q-Radio.
It's going good, yeah.
You're doing a bit of hosting and stuff. I have a bone to pick with you. Do you remember the time?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Spirit of Northern Ireland Awards.
I was hosting the Spirit
Co-hosting the Spirit
NI.
of Northern Ireland Awards.
Oh, yes.
I'm up to do a stand-up thing as I do always. Yeah, I'm told by the people, "Don't worry, you'll be up in about 20 minutes." I'm having a beer, and Abe gets up and goes, "And now Tim McGarry." I got halfway through the week, but fuck what?
Thank God you were sat at your seat and not. At
Yes,
the
I was.
toilet
Yeah, I
or-
was. I
oh,
could have been
yeah.
out having a slash or whatever.
yeah. But yeah, I do a bit of hosting as well. I'm doing quite a lot, actually. But I enjoy it. It's not something that I always kind of enjoyed,
Right.
you know. But
But can I hire you to do discos and stuff? If I would say if my 50th birthday, for instance, was coming up, would
I don't do as many discos now, Tim. But if you want me to do your 50th,
Thank you very much.
no problem.
Yeah, you'll need a time machine.
But no,
You'll need
But
the TARDIS.
I can't hire you if I want.
yeah, you can. You can. Mates, Dave. Mates.
So you're a Westie. You're a West Belfast fella. Westies are weird, though, aren't they? Be honest.
Well, it depends.
No, yous are. Yous are kind of. You're a bit kind of. I'm a North Belfast person, and we have a more cosmopolitan outlook.
No, you do weird things
No,
in
no,
the-
no.
no,
West
no.
Belfast. You think West Belfast is the centre of the universe? Not.
No, they do weird things in North Belfast. They put sausage rolls in the middle of a bop.
Well, yeah, that's
Or
what you
something.
just,
I've
sausage
never-
roll
that's-
bop. What
no.
is it?
We never did.
That's a big thing in the West too.
I don't know. I've never seen. Well, not round my way. It wasn't.
No, well,
You know.
I lived in Riverdale. My
I'm Riverdale.
grandmother.
I'm Riverdale South.
Well, she was Park North.
Oh, Park North.
No,
Oh,
no. It was all Park. It was off Finnegar Road North.
Oh, the Park North.
South.
You don't want to mix with the Riverdale
It's
Park.
south.
Oh no, but we were south. We didn't mix with the Park North.
So just off
Yeah.
Finnegar Road North.
Yes,
then.
that's
yes.
it,
Well, that's
yes.
where my grandmother lived.
Ah,
She-
right,
she- just
right.
as you
There
drive
you
in, second house on the left. She was
So
there.
not only a fellow Westie, but a fellow Riverdalean.
There you go.
There you go.
Very specific.
Even better.
Very specific, you Westies. Do you like being in Northern Ireland? Do you like being from Northern Ireland? Do you like, or do you think I could be in Sierra Leone?
No, this is my home.
This is your.
I was born here. I'm a home bird,
Right.
you know, and different members of my family have emigrated and took off, and no, I could never do that.
No.
Miss my mum too much.
See, I like it too. Yeah, I'm a bit of a home bird.
Yeah. Years ago, I went to Canada. This might have been 1990, or no, it was after that, 2000, early 90s, with the intentions of staying, not for long, but a few weeks. I have uncles out there, but I was home after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Homesick.
Yeah. Missed the West, you see.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. No, we don't know what we've got. We really
You
don't.
know what? You're right.
Yeah, we don't know what we've got. You know,
But it's not until you travel abroad, you know, I was going to say America, it doesn't matter where you go in the world.
Yeah.
People fly the flag for Ireland, but Northern Ireland too.
Yeah.
You know, it's a beautiful place, and no, I have no aspirations to ever. And if my kids, I'm not saying my kids will stay here. Who knows what's going to happen? You know, Katie's already talking about. Katie's 23 now, and she's already maybe talking about taking a year out. She's doing law, but she.
Don't let her do that.
She's
No,
too late.
seriously,
Too
get her-
late.
No,
she
don't.
loves it.
Katie,
Tim.
don't, Katie. Seriously,
She loves
get a
it.
decent job. She loves it.
Loves it.
where's she doing law?
She did law in Queens.
Right.
She's currently working for Baker McKenzie.
See, that's how it's happened. All these big companies have
Right,
come over. We used to be lawyers a long time ago. And all the
Yeah.
local firms have now been eaten up by all these big English and Dublin firms. Baker McKenzie, yeah, they're
Baker
quite.
McKenzie. But
is she loving it?
I can't say this now because it's public knowledge, but she's just been offered a paralegal position in the WF.
Oh,
Right.
So yeah, so she's
She must love
and
it.
She loves it.
Yeah.
She does.
Well, if you love it, I mean, that's good. I mean, that's you want that for any
she
job,
could,
don't you?
She could go far then.
She
You're
could.
not encouraging her to go into showbiz or
No.
entertainment.
And
Or
she could, Tim.
She could?
Have you had a conversation with Katie? She always did musical drama in school. She went to Rathmore, was heavily involved in the drama group, and she could be on stage.
Right.
She's got such a personality,
right.
great personality. Her younger sister, Molly, she's 20.
Yeah.
She's doing biomedical engineering in Ulster University in her second year. Don't ask me
Yeah.
where they get the brains
Right,
from,
right,
because
okay.
I know that's
You
what
could
were-
see exactly where I
you were
thought
looking
there.
at me
You're
as if to
going,
say, hang
your
on a
dad's
sec."
hilarious, your children are very talented. Abe.
Your lawyer girl, does she go to court?
Court or Cork?
Court. Would she do a lot of court work? like,
No,
she-
not as yet. No.
Right.
As far as I know,
Right.
it's more corporate and in the office, and you know,
Yeah.
it's intense.
Right.
Not yet.
Well, that was the only part of being a lawyer I enjoyed.
Is
court.
it?
Yeah. Court was always something happening, you know.
Yeah. Well, who knows?
There was always biz down in court, like.
Abe, do you get recognised for being on the radio and stuff? Is there
Do you know
levels
what-
of
do you know
fame
what,
that you get
Tim?
stopped and going, you're a man off a thingamabob, are
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Not you.
Being on radio isn't like being on radio back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, because of social media. Now you can go on, you can download the Q-Radio app, and you can watch the show
Yeah.
live on your mobile phone. So yes, and the power of social media also. I would do quite a bit of social media.
Right.
So yeah, you get recognised, and if, you know, there's not too many black radio presenters. In fact,
Right.
in Northern Ireland, I'm talking about
Yeah, I'm going
Belfast.
to say.
So yeah,
You've cornered the market there, yeah.
I do get recognised. quite a
Right.
bit.
And it's
But it's all love. It's
I was
all
going
love.
to say,
You know.
99.9% of his love,
Yeah.
apart from the odd drunken arsehole.
Yeah.
I presume you get
Yeah.
that. Do you get that at 12?
Yes, absolutely, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It was meant with affection. He didn't mean it. You're going to be on our fucking podcast.
See, now he remembers me. Now he remembers me.
But growing up in a minority in Northern Ireland didn't come without its challenges. You know, back
Yeah.
in school especially. You know.
We were terribly enlightened in the early 80s, were we? Were we?
Well, you know, I was the only black person in my school.
Right.
You know, and I did get a bit of shit. You know,
Really?
But yeah, I did. Of course, I did. Yeah. You know, name calling, stupid name calling. You know, which whenever you're 10, 12, 14 years of age, it's hurtful.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And used to get all the usual, you know, fucking black bastard and, and
Yeah.
right, and that was okay. And then the
Well,
first,
it wasn't, but you know what I mean.
no, yeah,
I know what you mean,
but you know what I mean. I didn't really take it to heart.
Yeah.
You know, is what I meant. But we were coming out of a bar in Belfast one evening, and these two guys on two bikes, you know, BMXs, and nearly. I had stepped out of the bar and they came whizzing up, and one of them shouts, "Watch it, you baldy bastard!" And I was like, you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that.
I suppose I'll have to agree with you. Yes.
Progress. Progress.
Absolutely.
Genuinely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you would have thought that in West Belfast they would have had an affinity with, you know, like I'm somewhat surprised that you faced so much of that there.
No.
Although maybe I'm
there's a lot of.
wrong in saying
Yeah.
that.
Tim Brannigan as well had that.
Yeah.
Tim Brannigan's book's very interesting on that.
Yeah.
Tim Brannigan had faced similar things
Tim had
from West
challenges.
Belfast from
Yeah.
people who are.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's worse now, of course.
Well, is it or is it? I mean, what do you?
Well, with all the whole anti-immigration stuff and anti-asylum
From that point of
seeker
view,
stuff,
yes.
you know,
I'm from Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Right. There, of course, a lot of people who aren't from Northern Ireland who have came to Northern Ireland, as we well know, it's well been documented in the news. They get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot, people are burnt out of their homes, and there's young kids affected by that.
yeah.
So from that point of view, yes, it's not any better at all.
No, it's not. In fact, it's probably worse now.
It's weird because there is that element to it, but there are bits of it that because I'm a big football fan. And 20, 30 years ago, you had a lot of racism. There's very few. There are actually more black players now playing than there ever were. But I genuinely at football matches that I've been to, you would never hear a racist slur. Genuinely, because people would go, you're not allowed to say that. You can use every other foul language that you think of. But I have genuinely never heard a racist slur at a football match in years that you would have been the norm 30, 40 years ago.
Well,
so there's that aspect to it, but at the same time, there's all the stuff in Ballymena and Larne and all the people being put out of their homes and Romanians being attacked. It's awful, But,
Listen, Tim, people in Northern Ireland are amazing.
Yeah.
Like on the whole, and they'll support and they'll try to stamp out any negativity, sectarianism, racism. But there is always a minority, and it's that minority who have so much hatred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's just keep them a minority.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to end on a upbeat moment because it's Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost Christmas time. We want to thank you very much for coming and sharing with us. We were trying to get you before, and I remember I met you in Q-Radio.
Yeah, that's right.
And thank you very much for being on the show. I'll tell you how I would like to end. I'd like to end by saying, look, do you know what? If you have a few quid, could you please give a donation to Concern Worldwide, who are doing magnificent work, not just in Sierra Leone, but many other places as well. If you have a few quid to spare, thank you very much, Abe. Good Christmas coming up, your family Christmas.
Love Christmas. Everybody comes to us for Christmas,
right?
So we're looking forward to it.
Your dad gets his tickets for Give Me a Headpiece. He's in great form. Everything's going.
A man of taste.
Well, we would genuinely love to meet your dad after the. We'll see him.
You will.
You keep in touch.
To meet you as well.
We'll tell you what. We'll get him backstage. We'll get him to meet the cast and stuff and say hello to people.
And on the 27th of December, I'm going to be doing a groovy train, as we mentioned earlier on.
Oh, stop plugging things. That's so pathetic. It's not that type of show.
I love you there too.
Oh, the 27th of December. Where is it?
And it's in the Beach Lawn Hotel.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's going to be different.
That's down the road from me. I might go to that then.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What is it, a disco
Groovy
thing?
Train.
The Groovy
I've seen
Train.
you in the Beach Lawn at another gig, actually.
Yeah, the
Now
Beach
you've
Boys.
just reminded me, the Beach
The
Boys.
Beach Boys,
Yeah,
yes.
well, it's in that same room.
Aye, right.
And it's going to be good crack.
I'll go to that then.
So
Right.
get your flares and your wig on. I'll
27th of December.
Yeah.
See you there.
Glister.com, get your tickets.
Thank you very much. Ibe Sesay, thank you so much for being a guest on the Give Me a Head podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yuletide felicitations. Merry Christmas. We will see you soon. Thank you very much for listening and watching the Give Me a Head podcast. Thank you.
Cheers.